Episodes 5 and 6 are in the books, guys. We are headed into a really good chunk of part of the story. And I think, for the most part, I've been enjoying it. There's a lot of stuff that has improved and has gone very well. Especially with Danny's character. I see Danny's character as developing more of a sense of personality. He's really starting to become what I was expecting. I was hoping that Danny would become more of a layered character. He's definitely a layered character in this. There's a lot of complications to him as far as him being Danny Rand and him being the Iron Fist, and you sort of see that internal conflict there, especially within episode 6. You see sort of I guess you could say a transition into him leaving Danny behind and him just becoming Iron Fist. And there's especially in episode 6, there's this internal struggle with him. He's remembering his lessons, remember his teachings and stuff like that. But there's still a part of him, at least in my eyes, that can't really, there's he knows he has to stay grounded in reality. That it's not everything is as it seems in K'un-Lun. He all the teachings there, not all of that stuff applies in the real world. He has to show some compassion. He has to have some sort of shred of humanity to him in order for him to survive. Because if he doesn't do that, he loses bases with people in his company. People he that come to his company for needs and stuff like that. So it's that internal conflict is really starting to show, and I really like that. Speaking of internal conflict, Ward, the brother of the two siblings that were running the company while Danny was away, he's got some really internal struggles of his own, and I'm enjoying his character very much. I'm liking this downward spiral he's going through, and sort of this defiant nature he's having with his father. And it's really all the stuff with Danny and with the company and the responsibility he has. You can see it's really starting to catch up with him now. He is really sort of his mind, his body, I think his soul is just tired. He looks weathered and beaten and defeated, and he's trying to put up a good front, but in the end, it looks like his everything he is just not cooperating, and he's just in a real bad spot right now. I'm interested to see whether he'll come out of this, because despite the fact that younger he was sort of a bully to Danny, I think in his heart of hearts he does care about Danny. And it's just that, especially with his upbringing and now, he's kind of put in this dire straits, as it were, that he has to put on this act in order for him to make his father proud, because that's the way his father wanted him to be. So, and he started trying to rebel with that, and it's very fun to see. We're starting to see, this certain group of individuals that we see from Daredevil appear more prominently as of late, and it's really fun and exciting. I'm really digging that stuff, because I love this group. I think they're ones not to be messed with in the Marvel universe. They are not. I mean, everybody talks about how Hydra is awesome in the MCU and stuff like that. No, this group that's in this show and in Daredevil, they're the ones that are not to be messed with, because they will come after you, and they will come after you relentlessly. They will not give up. So yeah, and they just do it in so many different great ways. It's just awesome. Another thing that I'm sort of curious as to see what's happening is there is a sort of a hint of a love interest with Danny and the instructor from the Japanese dojo, from the karate dojo, or the Bushido dojo, I should say. Why I find this interesting is because I'm wondering if, because we've already been introduced to Misty Knight, and as you can see on your screen, that Danny and Misty, they're in a relationship. They are actually married in the comics, and they have a kid. So it'll be interesting to see where this goes. I mean, I would love to see this thing happen. I would love to see Danny and Misty have a relationship. In the Defenders, I would really love to see that, because the relationship start to bloom and start to fruition, have some sort of fruition there, because even though the MCU isn't exactly like the comics, there are some things I would hope the MCU sort of retains, and this is one of those things. I would love to see Danny and Misty have a relationship, and maybe, further down the line, them expecting their daughter. So, to me, that would be fantastic. Jessica and Luke, I hope, are a thing too. I hope that happens. And yeah, I really hope this thing really turns out to be exactly how the comics are, because continuity, it to me is it says a lot. So yeah, we'll see. I'm hoping so. I don't know what's gonna happen with the other side character, and it's we'll see. I like I said, I'm not as well rounded as I want to be in Iron Fist lore, because let's face it, there's a whole lot of Marvel comics out there, and it's hard to get through all of them in a sitting. I mean, there's so much great material out there, and there's so many good reads, and then not just for Marvel. I mean, this is a whole nother subject. I'm sort of tanging, meandering off the subject here, but I do want to start to catch up on my Iron Fist lore, because my Iron Fist lore isn't as good as I want it to be. But as far as I know, Danny and Misty are still together. They still, they're still with their kid, and they're still one of the best couples in my mind in the Marvel universe. So yeah, I really hope they put that in the Defenders. Speaking of MCU and other things, the fights and the everything else is turning out well, because I don't know, they just look better. They're looking better, and I'm hoping we sort of see Daredevil's the fight choreographer for their sort of be in the Defenders, because even though the fights have been better, in my opinion, they're not living up to expectations of what I think Iron Fist should be. Even though they're improving, I don't think they're quite the quality of Daredevil. And like I said, it's not fair to say, but there's something there that is missing, and I hope we see some improvement there as far as the Defenders go. Lastly, the episode 6 was directed by the RZA, so I think he did a very good job. I think he did pretty good with all the directing, the dialogue, the lighting, the pacing and stuff like that. I think he did pretty good. I think he nailed it. What can I say? I was very impressed when I saw the RZA, when it said directed by the RZA, on the screen. I was like, okay, we'll see how this goes, and I have to say, very, very impressed. I really enjoyed it. So, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll do episodes 7 and 8 review tomorrow, and we'll see how far this goes. We'll see how far we'll take this. So, take care, guys. I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.